I think that they might move to one referee.
So in the last EVW event, we saw some rule changes, such as 60 seconds instead of 90 seconds in between rounds. We saw that the athletes are not able to leave after each foul, leave the table and go pace around, stalling more time. So that was a good thing, I think. But are we potentially going to see another rule change? There is some rumblings, at least according to Devin. Let's take a look here, and then we're going to review some comments kind of criticizing the production or just giving some recommendations as far as refereeing on the Devin versus Vitali match. But first, let's listen to Devin
whether
here.
Whether it's, little evolutions with the rules, which they did, I think, and
I agree. I think the pace of the event was sped up, which was fantastic, and not letting the athletes just wander around aimlessly in between fouls to go get chalk or whatever. I thought the speed of the production was a lot smoother, personally. Now, as far as like individual calls, obviously there was a lot of complaining about the refereeing, especially in the Devin versus Vitali and the Nugo versus Bogdan match.
And I think in terms of layout, I think they're going to keep tightening that up too. I think that they're going to do more and more whenever they can. It's going to be a surround of the stage.
And I like that as well. Kind of to some degree what the WAL was doing with having fans that are visible, which we saw in the previous event, fans in the background kind of surrounding the table, which does kind of provide an ambience of the setup to make it seem like some type of coliseum of some sort on a smaller scale, to where there's fans in every side taking a look, almost looking down at the match. So I think that's pretty cool.
And I think that I think that they might move to one referee. I've heard rumblings of that. The PAL used.
Now that's shocking, because that would be a dramatic change, moving to one referee. Now, one of the main complaints of the Devin versus Vitali match, or just that production in general, was that the camera angles were not good. They were changing camera angles, or the referee was blocking a lot of the pins, or they were just randomly changing to like a far angle instead of a close angle right when the match started. So we're going to take a look at people's reaction to that. But
to do that. Yeah. And I think for a sports that's this small, every angle is so important. You don't want to cut off any angle for anybody.
Interesting. Now, you already can see that there's going to be Devin haters saying, well, this is just going to be to favor Devin. He's going to have one less referee who's going to be able to control him from excessively fouling. I can already see those comments coming. But as far as like that being something that would help the camera angles, that potentially could be the case, considering, I mean, I don't want to play any of this matches for copyright reasons. I'm not sure if I can review this, but there were instances where the referee is kind of blocking the start of the match to the angle, or where they switch to like a far angle, which I saw on several occasions as well, right? Like when the match started, where you want to see it up close and they switch to a far angle. So I do think that was some valid criticisms with the camera angles. This person says new referee as well. I think they weren't happy about some of the calls where Luke Polsher said he didn't see Devin getting pinned. There were an instance of that, maybe multiple instances where people were criticizing that. Vitali just fixed Devin's non-straightening arm. That's the flattest I've seen his arm go. Vitali pulled Devin's whole body across the table with two referees on the left arm, 2026. So that reminds me, like, one referee. How do you think that would go? Is that something you're in favor of? I'll put up a poll on my channel and make sure to vote on that. If you think would be a good step, or it's going to do more harm than good, let me know. But another comment here, the camera work in this match was a freaking mess. So yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, maybe not a mess. I mean, there were certainly a bunch of instances where they switched to a far angle at the wrong time, but I didn't think it was like too drastic, like too heavily drastic, but there's definitely room for improvement. But let me know if you think that having one referee would be a good addition just for the viewing pleasure, and any other like critiques of the production. I'm curious to read those in the comment section, and hit like and subscribe, guys. Make sure to buy the EVW 23 pay-per-view and use code TOM. I'll put all the links in the description, as you can already start buying the pay-per-view for what's going to be the biggest arm wrestling event in history going down. April 18th. So stay tuned, guys.